Welcome to a little bit of an early alfresco story time. Don't judge my totally dead kissing ball from Christmas that's still hanging out on the front of the house. Maybe I'll take that down this afternoon. We've got some kids that are out scootering.
I put it up on there.
You did put it up on there. Some kids that are scootering and biking and eating yogurt, and then some kids that are just listening to books and eating yogurt. All right, so let's give this a whirl. All right, the first book is The Tale of Tom Kitten by Beatrix Potter.
I'm just going to move
Nope, let's not move the phone, okay, honey?
I'm just going to move it a little
Yeah, it
bit.
makes it really hard for me to be able to turn the book toward it, okay? Okay.
I'm just
Nope,
feeling
please
it.
don't touch it, Eve. Okay. All right. Once upon a time, there were 3 little kittens, and the names were Mittens, Tom Kitten, and Moppet. They had dear little fur coats of their own, and they tumbled about the doorstep and played in the dust. But one day their mother, Mrs. Tabitha Twitchit, expected friends to tea, so she fetched the kittens indoors to wash and dress them before the fine company arrived. First, she scrubbed their faces. This one is Moppet. Then she brushed their fur. This one is Mittens. Then she combed their tails and whiskers. This is Tom Kitten. Tom was very naughty, and he scratched.
My feet are a little dirty, and
Yeah,
my dad
well,
said that's okay.
That's okay if your feet are a little dirty. Mrs. Tabitha dressed Moppet and Mittens in clean pinafores and tuckers, and then she took all sorts of elegant, uncomfortable clothes out of a chest of drawers in order to dress up her son, Thomas. Tom Kitten was very fat, and he had grown. Several buttons burst off. His mother sewed them on again. When the 3 kittens were ready, Mrs. Tabitha unwisely turned them out into the garden to be out of the way while she made hot buttered toast. Now keep your frocks clean, children. You must walk on your hind legs. Keep away from the dirty ash pit and from Sally Hennypenny and from the pigsty and the puddle ducks. Moppet and Mittens walked down the garden path unsteadily. Presently they trod upon their pinafores and fell on their noses. When they stood up, there were several green smears. Uh-oh, kiddo. Are you okay? Are you okay? All right. Unscheduled stop for the tough cookie on the scooter. Are you okay, sweetheart? Come here. Come here. Oh, you're a tough cookie dough, right? Are you a tough cook? All right, let's sit down and listen to the book for a little while, okay? And then you can go back to scooting. Okay, Smoochkins? All right. You have a seat right here. Oop, right next to your sister. Okay. All right, here we go. So back to our friends, the kittens. Moppet and Mittens walked down the garden path unsteadily. Presently they trod upon their pinafores and fell on their noses. When they stood up, there were several green smears. Is that kind of like how Evie has dirty toes today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay. Let us climb up the rockery and sit on the garden wall, said Moppet. They turned their pinafores back to front and went up with a skip and a jump. Moppet's white tucker fell down into the road. Uh-oh.
Where is it?
Well, it fell onto the road. Tom Kitten was quite unable...
Where is it now?
I don't know. We'll see. Tom Kitten was quite unable to jump...
A truck go by with it, and I think it's lost now.
Oh, okay. Tom Kitten was quite unable to jump when walking upon his hind legs in trousers. He came up the rockery by degrees, breaking the ferns and shedding buttons right and left. Oh, dear. He was all in pieces when he reached the top of the wall. Moppet and Mittens tried to pull him together. His hat fell off, and the rest of his buttons burst. While they were in difficulties, there was a pit-pat, paddle-pat, and the 3 puddle ducks came along the hard, high road, marching one behind the other and doing the goose step. Pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-pat. They stopped.
done.
Okay, they stopped and stood in a row and stared up at the kittens. They had very small eyes and looked surprised. Not right now.
Why?
Because I'm reading. Then the two duck birds, Rebecca and Jemima Puddle Duck, picked up the hat and tucker and put them on. Oh my goodness. Mittens laughed so hard that she fell off the wall. Moppet and Tom descended after her. The pinafores and all of the rest of Tom's clothes came off on the way down. Come, Mr. Drake Puddle Duck, said Moppet. Come and help us to dress him. Come and button up Tom. Mr. Drake Puddle Duck advanced in a slow, sideways manner and picked up the various articles. But he put them on himself. They fitted him even worse than Tom Kitten. It's a very fine morning, said Mr. Drake Puddle Duck. Quack. He and Jemima and Rebecca Puddle Duck set off up the road, keeping step, pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-pat. Then Tabitha Twitchit came down the garden and found her kittens on the wall with no clothes on. She pulled them off the wall, smacked them, and took them back to the house. My friends will arrive in a minute, and you are not fit to be seen. I am affronted, said Miss Tabitha Twitchit. She sent them upstairs, and I am sorry to say she told her friends that they were in bed with the measles, which was not true. Quite the contrary, they were not in bed, not in the least. Somehow, there were very extraordinary noises overhead which disturbed the dignity and repose of the tea party. And I think that someday I shall have to make another larger book to tell you more about Tom Kitten. As for the Puddle Ducks, they went into a pond. The clothes all came off directly because there were no buttons. And Mr. Drake Puddle Duck and Jemima and Rebecca have been looking for them ever since. Oh boy. Those crazy Puddle Ducks.
Okay, Mommy, can we read this one now?
Yes, we will read this one now. Okay. Little Miss.
I was just moving it.
Okay, this is Little Miss Big Sis. And this is a book that we got for Stasha when someone was in my belly.
That's cool. This one. This one.
Wait, which one?
This one. This one.
This one right here?
This one. Yep, that girl. When she was in that person's belly, Mommy and Daddy got their friend sent this book to me.
That's right, because it was time for you
To be a big sis.
to be a big sis. All right.
To carry me.
To carry you. Well, that's part of it. Let's see. The big news is this. Little Miss will be a big sis. Will be a big sis? Will be a big sis! Waiting and waiting, anticipating. Then, ow, now! Did you say you don't remember when I went to the hospital though, Stasha? No. But did you come to visit Evie in the hospital?
I do remember.
Yeah, you do remember that. Wow. What now? Sleep, fuss, eat, repeat. Do you remember that part of Evie being a baby? Mm-hmm. Drool, drool. Oh, so not cool. Drooled right on her face. You both used to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cry, cry. Lullaby. Do not despair. I'll help care. From there, everywhere. Let's not move it, honey. Okay?
I'm just
Yep, don't move it anymore. Thank you. Stay near crib. Help with bib. What a sib. Do all these words rhyme? Do they rhyme, Stasha? Mm-hmm.
Stay in your crib. Help.
Baby grows. Smile shows. Such cute toes. Hugging, holding, love unfolding. Singing, swinging, real fun beginning. Do babies get more fun when they turn into little kids? Mm-hmm. Crawling, crawling, falling, falling. Lap, clap, need a nap. Funny faces, warm embraces, giggly chases. No, not the vases. Sure, sometimes takes toys, and sometimes annoys. But always supports. You make the bestest forts. Do you guys like to make forts? Yeah. Admired, inspired. Forever protected, forever connected, and just as suspected, from that first hug and kiss, the most wonderful big sis. Sib, love, sis.
I didn't toot. I did toot.
You did toot. Oh, cool. Thanks. Well, I'm sure everyone wanted to know that. Oh, now this is another important book. Oh, and I forgot to read who the authors were. So Little Miss Big Sis is by Amy Krouse Rosenthal and Peter H. Reynolds. Eve, please stop moving the camera. Yeah, don't move it. It's not helpful. Thank you. Your Own Big Bed by Rita M. Bergstein. Guys, just stop moving it, okay? Okay, just don't move it. I got it taken care of, okay? By Rita M. Bergstein. Pictures by Susan Kathleen Hartung. And why is this book, Your Own Big Bed, why is this an important book, Evie?
I don't know.
Did you just start sleeping in your own big bed? Did we take down the side of the crib? Yeah, that's right. So this is a special story about that time. Okay. Crack! Baby chick cracked out of his shell. Peck, push. Baby alligator pecked a hole in his shell. You can go bike. As usual, I'm not interesting to my own children. Chip, chip. Baby sea turtle grew too big for her shell. And you grew and grew until you were too big for your mother's tummy. Soon, they all came out. And so did you. This little koala bear was carried on her mother's back. This baby kangaroo rode in her mother's pouch. Mother tiger carried her cub in her mouth, and you were carried everywhere, too. Soon, they all took their first steps, and so did you. After learning to fly, this bird sleeps in her comfy nest. After hopping in the meadow, this bunny naps in his cozy burrow. After paddling in the pond, this duckling dozes in the tall, soft reeds. After playing all day, you sleep in your snug little crib. They are all getting bigger and bigger, and so are you. This foal has grown so big, she now sleeps in her own stall. This puppy sleeps in her own new doghouse. This kitten sleeps in his special basket. And where will you sleep now that you're big? Look, they're taking off the sides of the crib. You'll sleep in your own big bed. Big bed, special basket, doghouse, burrow, reeds, nest, stall, all the special places. It Came in the Mail by Ben Clanton. This is another new book. We've gotten pretty into Ben Clanton, especially since we've been tuning into some of his drawing classes. Right, Sta?
Only one of them.
Only one? All right, Evie, you gonna come join us for It Came in the Mail? Okay, here we go. Liam loved to get mail. Hooray! Too bad he never got any. Boogers. He checked daily, no, not daily, hourly, no, not hourly, every few seconds, but found diddly squat. And what does diddly squat mean?
No mail.
No mail. But then on a day, much like any other, an idea struck Liam. Bonk! Ouch. If he sent some mail, then maybe he would get some in return. Gotta go write a letter. See ya, Jamel. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. Not sure who to send something to, Liam sent a letter to his mailbox. Dear mailbox, I would like to get something in the mail. Something big, please. Love, Liam. As soon as Liam put the letter in, the mailbox began to shake. It made all sorts of strange sounds. Crink, toot, whirr, wink, squibble, whoop, wibble. What's happening? When Liam looked inside, he was met by a blast of fire. A dragon had come in the mail. And it was for Liam. Oh yeah, it says right there, for Liam. Liam loved the dragon, but he couldn't wait to see what he might get next. Dear Mailbox, thank you for the fire-breathing dragon. It was just what I always wanted. Can you send me some more stuff? Please? Love, Liam. P.S. You are the best mailbox ever. Soon the mailbox was spitting out all sorts of things. Pickles! Pigs! A whale with wings! A triceratops bone?
Pigs, that's a pig and that's a pig.
That's a pig and that's a pig. Even a funny bone. Knock, knock. Get it? The bone's telling jokes. Squibble, squibble, whoop! What else do you see? What else came out of the mailbox?
The dolphin. And that's one.
That's a triceratops bone. What do you see, Stasha?
A snail.
A snail?
A pineapple.
A pineapple?
A crown.
A crown?
A chair. I
Chair.
see Liam's a comb.
A comb?
I see a apple.
An apple? I see an ice cream cone.
I see Saturn.
I see Saturn, yeah. Okay, let's see.
I see a spiral.
Liam liked it all. He liked it all so much that he wanted even more. Nom, 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 nom. I crack myself up. La, la, la. Dear Mailbox, you send the best mail. I would love it if you would send me 100, no, scratch that, gazillion more things. Love, Liam. How do you think this is going to turn out? Creak, rattle, rumble, 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 zip. Whoa, oodles and oodles of mail flooded out of the mailbox. It's a shark, you're right.
I see thousands of fish.
Lots of fish. A crab. Wait! Is that a pirate pig? What else?
Elephant.
Octopus.
Alicorn.
Octopus. A flying horse, yeah.
Pegasus.
A pegasus. Yar! Too much mail! Je m'appelle Escargot.
What is that too much whale?
I think that was what Liam said.
Where is he?
I don't know. He looks like he's buried under the mail. Got any good jokes? I'm bone dry. Toot toot. Any other crazy things in here? What's that?
A duck wearing a hat.
And a birthday turtle?
And a crab.
A crab. Is there a happy robot?
Yeah.
That is a lot of stuff to come out of the mail, right?
And a man and a
What else do you see?
castle.
A castle.
And a book.
Where's
the book?
Right here. And a submarine.
And a dog. A dog nose.
What was Liam gonna do with it all? Whoa! Awesome! Jamel thinks it's pretty cool. Liam's buried. He says, oof. And then another idea struck Liam. He probably wasn't the only kid who had ever wanted to get mail. Where are you going now? Gotta write a letter. Again? Poor Jamel. He keeps getting left in the dust. Dear Mailbox, thank you for all the mail, but I think it's maybe too much for just me. Can you help me send some of it to other kids? Love, Liam. With some help from the mailbox. Ugh. It's hard to fit an elephant in the mailbox. And the elephant says, I bet Amelia would love this thing.
Where's
Rattle, rumble.
Amelia?
Maybe here. Liam was soon mailing things.
That's
Brilliant.
Liam, I think.
Oh, okay, look. So this says for Sam. To kids all over the place.
Well, I think that's her.
Yeah, what did she get?
I don't know.
Did she get a mustache?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Shoop, 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 shoop.
My
Wait a
dad
second.
had-
What did the little alien guy get?
Pickles.
Pickles. Liam found he rather liked sending stuff, and he liked it so much that before long, almost everything was gone. Hello. That was okay with Liam. He could always ask the mailbox for more. Woohoo! But maybe some other time. Faster! He's having too much fun. Because now he gets to fly with his friend. His friend has a flying horse, and he has a flying dragon. Oh, the dragon's name is Sizzle Fritz. Me, you, from Liam to mailbox. People, let me tell you about my best friend. No? Okay. Oh, whose favorite book is this? Ooh, the Nutcracker. It's Evie's favorite.
Come on, Eve.
Illustrated by Susan Jeffers.
I'm going to go bike.
And written by Susan
I'm
Jeffers.
going to go bike.
Okay, go bike. We'll see you in a bit. Do you want to listen to Nutcracker, Evie? Oh, okay. It was Christmas Eve.
Okay?
Well, you got to pay attention. I'll be reading it. You come up back whenever you want. It was Christmas Eve at the Stahlbaum's house. Marie and her little brother Fritz were listening at the ballroom door, waiting for the party to begin. Everyone was dancing when the last guest arrived. "Godfather!" cried Marie, rushing back to greet him. Herr Drosselmeyer was not only Marie's godfather, he was also a famous toy maker. He could make toys that moved and clocks that called the hours as sweetly as a nightingale. Herr Drosselmeyer brought presents for the children. He gave Fritz a box of toy soldiers. For Marie, there were 2 dolls, Harlequin and Columbine, who danced with each other. "I have another present for you, Marie," said Herr Drosselmeyer, handing her a wooden nutcracker. "I want you to take good care of him." "Not fair," shouted Fritz. "She has 3 presents." He grabbed the nutcracker from Marie and tossed him into the air. The nutcracker crashed to the floor and broke his head. "So what?" jeered Fritz. "It was an ugly thing." Herr Drosselmeyer bound Nutcracker's head with his handkerchief. Tenderly, Marie took the Nutcracker into her arms. She put him under the Christmas tree. Outside in the street, the carriages waited. After a flurry of goodbyes, Fritz and Marie were sent up to bed. "But my poor Nutcracker is all alone," thought Marie, tiptoeing back downstairs. Holding Nutcracker close, she soon fell asleep. Herr Drosselmeyer slipped into the room and, raising his hand, cast a bit of magic. Bong, bong, bong. The grandfather clock struck midnight. Marie stirred and rubbed her eyes. The Christmas tree was growing. Around her came a scampering of mice. Squeak, squeak! They were gathering like an army to attack. Their ruler was the Mouse King, who had 7 heads and 7 crowns. Marie held the Nutcracker and ran as fast as she could. Nutcracker leapt out of Marie's arms and held his sword at the ready. Fritz's toy soldiers took their battle positions. Swords flashed and cannons fired. Boom, boom, squeak, squeak! Nutcracker fought bravely, but the Mouse King was stronger. "No," cried Marie, "you shall not hurt him." She pulled off her slipper and threw it with all her might at the Mouse King. With a hiss, the Mouse King sank to the floor. Gathering up their king, the mice dragged him away. From the shadows, Herr Drosselmeyer saw Marie's bravery. He raised his hand and Nutcracker was transformed into a handsome prince. The prince bowed to Marie and placed the Mouse King's sparkling crown upon her head. "Come," said the prince. They walked through falling snowflakes to a waiting boat that flew them through the night. "Welcome to my kingdom," said the prince. "But where are we?" asked Marie. You are in the land of sweets, said the Sugar Plum Fairy, coming through the gates of the kingdom. Welcome home, dear prince. We will have a party to celebrate your return. The Sugar Plum Fairy led the prince and Marie to the seat of honor. Coffee, chocolate, Chinese tea, marzipan, and Mother Ginger and her Polychanels danced for them. Pink roses waltzed. At last the Sugar Plum Fairy danced. She seemed lighter than air. Too soon it was time to leave. As they flew homeward, Marie asked the prince, "Will I ever see you again?" The prince replied, "One day your courage and kind heart will be rewarded. Do not forget me." "What are you doing under the tree, Marie?" said her mother the next morning. "Wake up," said Herr Drosselmeyer. Marie opened her eyes and hugged her Nutcracker. She whispered, "If only you were alive, I would not care if Fritz said you were ugly. I would love you anyway." Herr Drosselmeyer raised his hand, and Nutcracker again became the Prince of Fairyland. The prince said to Marie, "The Mouse King imprisoned me under an evil spell. Because you love me no matter what I look like, the spell is broken. I have been returned to my true form." Good timing, Eve. You got here right for the end. Years passed, and the prince and Marie became engaged. After their wedding, they rode to the land of sweets in a coach trimmed in gold, drawn by 4 silver horses. To this day, there are those who say Marie is the queen of a wondrous fairyland that only those who believe can see. Nice. We ready for the last? This is the last one.
Not that one. Not that one now. I'm gonna go check on my sister.
You're gonna go check on her? Okay.
Where is she?
I think she went potty. So we're gonna finish the last book out here, Madeleine by Ludwig Bemelmans.
Did we do this one?
We did do all of those, honey. Yep.
And I didn't do this one.
We did.
We didn't.
We did. It was the first one, hon. In an old house in Paris that was covered with vines lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines.
Hi.
In 2 straight lines, they broke their bread and brushed their teeth and went to bed.
That's a bathroom.
They smiled at the good and frowned at the bad.
Why?
Well, it made them a little bit upset, a little bit sad.
Why?
And sometimes they were very sad because that poor man's hurt.
Why that poor man hurt?
Looks like he broke his leg. They left the house at 9:30 in 2 straight lines. In rain or shine. What are we in today? Are we in rain or shine?
Rain.
Rain? No, it's sunny. We're in shine. The smallest one was Madeleine. She was not afraid of mice. She loved winter, snow, and ice. To the tiger in the zoo, Madeleine just said, "Pooh, pooh."
What did Madeline say? Pew, pew.
Because she says, "I'm not afraid of you, tiger." And nobody knew so well how to frighten Miss Clavel. In the middle of one night, Miss Clavel turned on her light and said, "Something is not right."
Why?
Little Madeleine sat in bed, cried and cried. Her eyes were red.
How high was?
Because she was crying.
Why was she crying?
Well, we'll see. Soon after Dr. Cohen came, he rushed to the phone. And he dialed Danton 106. "Nurse," he said, "it's an appendix." Everybody had to cry. Not a single eye was dry.
Why don't you think I was dry?
Because she was sick. Madeleine was in his arm, in a blanket, safe and warm. In a car with a red light, they drove into the night. Madeleine woke up 2 hours later in a room with flowers. Madeleine ate and drank, and on her bed there was a crank, and a crack on the ceiling had the habit of sometimes looking like a rabbit. Where does it look like a rabbit? Whoops. Can you show me? Point to it. Right there. That's right.
What happened to your phone?
Oh, it just got knocked over. Outside there were birds, trees, and sky, and so 10 days passed quickly by. One nice morning, Miss Clavel said, "Isn't this a fine day to visit Madeleine?" This is Boulevard Raspail, Place de la Concorde, Madeleine.
I tooted. What does it say?
It was the name of the bus. It talks about where it was for the Place de Concorde. Visitors from 2 to 4 read a sign outside her door, tiptoeing in with solemn face, with some flowers and a vase. Do all the girls have little flowers?
No, why are they sad?
Well, they think she's hurt because she was crying when they last saw her, but then in they walked and they said, when they saw the toys and candy and the dollhouse from Papa.
Who's Papa?
Her daddy. But the biggest surprise by far on her stomach was a scar. Oh, neato. Goodbye, they said. We'll come again. And the little girls left in the rain. They went home and broke their bread and brushed their teeth and went to bed. In the middle of the night, Miss Clavel turned on the light and said, "Something is not right."
Why?
Well, and afraid of a disaster? She must have heard something. Miss Clavel ran fast and faster. And she said, "Please, children, do tell me what is troubling you." And all the little girls cried, "Boo-hoo! We want to have our appendix out too."
Why does one go hiding at the end of the bed?
I don't know. "Good night, little girls. Thanks the Lord you are well. And now go to sleep," said Miss Clavel. And she turned out the light and closed the door. And that's all there is. There isn't any more. And that's the end of the story. So thanks for joining us today. Oh, I guess Eve's heading out. What are you doing? You gonna go bike? You gonna go scooter? All right. The kids are hitting the road. We're enjoying this beautiful sunshine while it lasts. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.